sung and danced. I went down to Hy-Vee today, and the LeBron James Wheaties are no longer available, but they got the Neil Hansen Wheaties, you know, and the kids get a big kick out of it. And you go to graduation receptions, you see those boxes of Wheaties, and so that's our incentive, I guess. And then if you look on page 3, you see those are all the stats from last year's girls pentathlon. Like I say, the first 5 events are the scored events. Keep track of, you know, grade level winners, top 10 overall. And you know, I know some other folks do this, and they don't do the hurdles partly because of injury and partly because of or injury, worried about it, and partly because of just a lot of kids are kind of afraid of the hurdles. I used to be a little more hardcore on this than I am now, but I don't absolutely require that they do the hurdles. But if they don't do the hurdles, they get a 0, and you're not going to win the pentathlon with a 0, you know. And so I don't know, that every year I find hurdlers there. I really do, every year. Actually, I find somebody in every event every year, at least one, and sometimes a lot more than that. You never knew. And even the kids that have been out before, all of a sudden, you know, they're different, especially on the boys. In 11th grade, they're a whole lot different than they were in 9th grade. You know? And so I think it's been a really good thing. And the kids get into it, and I do feel they're more ready for the first meet too by doing this. As we go along, again, if you have any questions or comments or things, please ask at the time. Yes, go ahead.
Well, when do you do this? A week or 2 after?
Yeah, it's the first Friday of the season.
First Friday of the season. Okay.
Now the only thing, sometimes the boys basketball team is still going, you know, so then we have to postpone it. We've done it outside sometimes, and we changed the 40 to a 55, and we do 55 hurdles, and we actually have a long jump scale for the outdoor one. But I'd say only once every 6 years, maybe, would we do it outside. But if let's say the basketball team's in the gym, or if we have one of those springs that we haven't had for a while where it's actually nice out, then we might try to do it outside. Anything else on this before we move on? But it's a good way, I think, to find kids that can do stuff. And we had 2 big 220-pound guys. All they ever did was throw, Gus and Ryder. And they loved this pentathlon. And when they ran the hurdles against each other, the whole place would stop and watch it. And then here comes the 40, and they'd stop. And so we pair them up on purpose. You see brother and sister racing each other and stuff like that. But it kind of gets the juices flowing a little bit. It's fun. The kids have a good attitude about it. They really do.
Do you lower the height of the hurdles, or do you run it at 33 for the girls, and whatever?
Great question. We actually, you know, the bottom is what, 33, right?
Or 30.
30, yeah. And then we actually even slide them down a little bit below that notch, so it's probably 28.
Okay.
You know, yeah, we do, and we get a few wipeouts, but not many. You know, not many. Okay, so moving on now. Now I just want to talk about kind of what our practice routine and philosophy is a little bit. So I'm on page 4 now. This is based on having practice 5 days a week in one meet. Now, when I say 5 days a week, that includes Saturday. We don't require Saturday practice, but we do have Saturday practice. Basically 8 o'clock in the morning, except if we have a Friday night meet, we have it at 9 o'clock. And I would say 2/3 of the varsity probably make it. And then some of the young kids come and as well. I had a new guy last year. We looked like we were going to have a good boys 4x4. 3 of the 4 guys were coming and he wasn't. And you know, he'd never been out before, and he didn't really have that expectation. But we talked privately about it, and he came, and he became really good and won the state in the 4x4 and all that stuff. So I don't think we would have without those 4 guys being there on Saturday. Usually our Saturday practice is more of a run. A lot of times it'd be like a 3-mile run for the sprinters. Or what we do a lot of times, oh gosh, 3 miles, is we run in a residential area, so we walk a block, jog a block, sprint a block. which to me is a lot harder than just running 3 miles. But, you know, oh, we get to walk a block every third block, so, okay. So, you know, and then we'll do a weight room thing and a core thing and stuff. And, you know, and usually I'm there unless I have to talk on the radio that morning if we have a Friday night meet or something. Otherwise, I tape the radio show. But, but if like the throwing coach is there, he might get all his throwers there on the Saturdays he's there. The other coaches we kind of rotate around, and so it's not a weekly commitment. It's 2 or 3 times a season really is what the assistant coaches do. But it's helped. I think it's been good. You know, and it's been part of good things for us, but not the essential thing. We've had some good athletes, good kids, top scorers not come to Saturday. Some of them are still playing JO volleyball or doing things like that, or just they feel they need to, so whatever. I'm not about to require it. I think yeah. Okay, so on the other 4 days of the week, one day is a 48-minute drill, which I'm going to talk quite a bit about. One day would be for like a field events, hurdles, relays, not all on the same day, but we want to do each thing that they do in terms of field events, hurdles, and relays fresh, 1 time a week at least. You know, I coach the hurdles. The kids, if they run a hard workout for 30, 40 minutes, then come over and try and hurdle, especially aggressively, it's just not going to work, you know. But I don't think we do as much specialty work as maybe a lot of programs. So, you know your best hurdler is usually also a long jumper and a sprinter, and you know they're trying 4 events, and so if we can get 1 good high hurdle practice fresh, 1 good long jump practice fresh, and so on, 1 good start finish practice fresh, then once a week's about what we can do fresh. Now it's not that we only hurdle once a week, because we don't. 300s usually I like them a little tighter, you know, or what we're doing there. You know, that's kind of how we do it. We do have long jumping and triple jumping going on every day pretty much. We have high jumping going on every day. We have pole vaulting going on every day, but it might be different kids or different things. Sometimes they might be just doing a sprint workout, but then doing drills in the second half of practice, but not going for height, let's say. So that's worked well. Like I say, our field event coaches are great coaches, and they do what do their thing. As far as distance workouts, again, we try to do something fast 3 days a week and something long 3 days a week, pretty much. Day before and day after meet usually is more of a continuous run day. Maybe we'll do some walk, jog, strike sprints or something like that. But and then at least a meet counts as a speed day. And then again, I'll kind of go through the workout a little bit later on here with that. So that's kind of our philosophy. Now, a lot, especially in April, we have a lot of two meets a week. So, you know, and that makes it a little harder. Sometimes with triangulars and quads and stuff, we might kind of work through the meet the day before. Might be a regular practice, you know, even though the meet's the next day, just because, you know, we're not going to try and have another opportunity. So you probably, if you look at that 4 days, this 48-minute drill, the 150s, the pre-meet, the recovery. If it's 2 meets in a week, like if it's a Friday meet, then we don't do the recovery. If it's another day, then we probably not do the pre-meet stuff that much in a small meet. We do it in a big meet. Okay, so 48-minute drill. I came to the track clinic about early 80s, I think, and there was this guy from North Dakota. There was 2 coaches in his school. He was one, and he had one assistant. Had about 100 kids, and he went through the 48-minute drill. The thing I love a lot of things about this, okay? One is that you can handle as many kids as you got with one coach, basically, or two coaches if you want to split them up by gender. Or a lot of times I have the 9th grade boys go with the 9 through 12 girls, you know, and it's good for both groups, I think, because 9th grade is a tough year for a boy, especially if they're a hurdler. And then 10 through 12 is boys is kind of the other group. So usually we have two coaches do a 48-minute drill. But if you, so we're on page 5 now. If you look at the progression down there, this is for basically any sprinter or any distance runner who isn't a pure mile or 2 miler. If they're going to run the 4x8 or run the 800, and almost all the distance folks do that, you know. So we have a big group of kids. This might be 3/4 of the team on a 48-minute drill team workout, and that's pretty much what we do. So we start out with the most total distance of the season on week 1. Now I know there are a lot of physiologists that would say this is not the right thing to do, but it's so ingrained in our culture now that if I didn't do these, I think the kids would just say, what's going on, you know? And I know the graduates would say, what, you're not doing a 48-minute drill, you know, because it's kind of a source of pride for them. So anyway, I try to have about the same amount of time running. So the boys, the 10 through 12 boys at least,